Hi guys, Kelly here from Sleepy Stars Ireland. So a little while ago I asked you what you would like me to make my next video about, and apologies for not getting this out there sooner. I have been very busy over here in the US. So we are going to talk about our early morning starts. We're going to talk about what causes our early morning starts and what we can do to help improve. No one wants to start the day at ridiculous o'clock. And for me personally, I think when I'm working with a family, anything with a 5 in front of it is the middle of the night. So if we can get past 6 a.m, great. If we can get to 7 a.m, better. Some children are 11-hour babies, some are 12-hour babies, some are 10-hour babies. But how you judge it is, can they make it from when they wake up in the morning to their first nap happily? If they're a monkey 45 minutes after waking up, you know they didn't get enough nighttime sleep. Or if they're waking up crying, generally that's a sign that they didn't get enough nighttime sleep. So what causes early morning wake-ups? A couple of things. A hunger habit. So generally speaking, we wake up approximately 45 minutes to an hour from the first time we eat or drink anything. Water, toast, coffee, milk, breast milk, formula, whatever. So if your baby wakes up at 6 and you feed them at 6:05, there's a good chance they're going to start waking up at 5:15 in advance of this. Think about it. Before you had children, our body clock is influenced by our environment and our hunger habits. So if you were Monday to Friday 9 to 5, on a Saturday morning, you'd be like, yeah, I get to lie in. You'd probably still wake up at whatever 6:30 that you normally wake up at during the week. But you're able to go back to sleep. You're sleep trained. You know how to switch your brain off to go back to sleep. So why do you wake up at 6:30? Because you usually have your coffee around 7 a.m. That's one of the reasons. So if there's a hunger habit there, if your early wake up is related to a hunger habit, you can slowly start to push out that hunger habit. You can't say, I'm not feeding you now till 7:30 when I normally feed you at 6 a.m. Your child will be starving. But rather than feeding at 6 a.m, could we maybe get to 6:10? So pushing it out. If your early wake up is just related to a hunger habit, that can take 2 to 3 weeks to see the results of. So don't after 3 days go, oh, I've been doing the breakfast at 7:30 and it's not working. That hunger habit to reset in the body clock can take a while. That's the longer one. So have patience if that is the reason why. But most clients that I work with, that's not the sole reason. So another reason why we wake up early is environmental. So one of the reasons I sell the blackout blinds on the website is because I ask parents, especially in the summer months, is the room really, really dark in the morning? Like, oh, there's a little bit of light coming in the sides or whatever. Run a test. I like to have pitch dark from, if the baby's on a 7 to 7, we aim for 7 to 7. Some babies are on 8 to 8, and toddlers and young children as well. So when our brain registers that the sun is coming up, we stop producing melatonin, the sleepy hormone. The sleep pressure is low and boom, we're awake to start the day. So I like pitch dark for the night. I like darkness for the nap if you're struggling with your nap. And once you have your nap, I encourage parents to bring noise and light back in. Okay, so I don't encourage, for those who've never worked with me before, I don't encourage white noise blasting all night. That's a whole other video. Okay, and putting your baby in a bubble for the sleep. You have to expose them to the environment, but first set the body clock, set that circadian rhythm to get the sleep that we need, and then we can introduce these things back in. But for nighttime, like guaranteed, every October, November, I help a family. I usually try and take Christmas off, and that's fine. We close off, and then in and around kind of like April, May, we're getting messages going, oh my God, they're starting to wake up early. We sleep trained. We worked together in the depths of winter when it was really, really dark until whatever, 7:30. Now it's like bright at like 5:15. What time's your child waking up at? Yeah, 5:20. Okay, so you may need to relook at your environment. So those blinds that I sell, they're great. You can stick them up. Don't leave them up on hot days. And there's a glow in the dark feature for those older children. So there's constellations of the Northern Hemisphere. We worked with Astronomy Ireland. So they not enough to impact the melatonin in the brain, but enough to kind of like say, oh, look, there's little stars over there. Nothing to be afraid of. So hunger habit, environmental, and our routine. So if your child is overtired going to bed, so if their wake window between the last nap and bedtime is too long or too stimulating, or you just miss that window a little bit, that can actually lead to multiple wake-ups before midnight. and early morning starts the next day. Now, if your child is already sleep trained, they know how to go asleep at the beginning of the night and they know how to go back asleep in the middle of the night, but they're still waking up early, chances are it's environmental. Or it could be that it's just in their body clock. So if a child is sleep trained, you can do a body clock reset, as in you can disturb the sleep cycles. With a young child pre 12 months, I normally do a tiny 3-ounce stream feed, or if they're still on the boob, they get a little boob. We disturb the sleep cycles to press a reset button to push them out in the next day. You cannot do that with a child who's not sleep trained, because they'll just wake up. So if your child is sleep trained, they know how to go sleep independently without sleep aids or sleep assistance, you can do a body clock reset. If your child is not sleep trained, so what you do is you work on the routine first, and then you can, while you're working on the routine, right? Like, working on the routine means if they wake up at like 5, you hold them in the darkness, or you rub their back, or you hold their hand, or you do whatever needs to be done. You can't really do that with a child who's already sleep trained, because you'll cause a high level of confusion. They're like, hold on, I woke up at 2, went back to sleep by myself. I woke up at 5 and you're holding my hand. What's going on? What's going to happen? They're going to start waking up for that hand holding at 2 o'clock. So with a child who's sleep trained, you can do a body clock reset, or you can fix the hunger habit first if that's what you think it is, or your environment. If your child's not sleep trained, then now is the time to set their body clock. So if we were working together and you're like, oh, they always wake up at this time, I'd be putting their naps in the right place for their age. There's a whole video about naps up there. I can put the link up there. And then while we're working on resetting the body clock, so you're holding them in the darkness, you're, doing whatever. The only thing I would say you don't do is feed them if you don't think they're hungry, because if you feed them at 5 a.m, they're going to start waking up in advance of that. So yeah, that's our early morning wake ups. I don't, for those of you who've been following me for a while, I've got a lot of new followers since coming to the US. But for those of you who've been following me for a while, you'll know I'm not very good with like my reels and my pointing, and yeah, I'm not very good with that. I don't really have time for that. But also I feel like topics like this need to be explained. 3 little lines of, do this, this, and this. You're like, what? Explain more. So that's why I prefer to do a little video. So I hope you found this interesting. You can comment below. I will try and respond as soon as I can. And let me know what other videos you would like me to make, and I will try my best. So yeah, I hope you found that helpful. Please share this with a friend who's struggling with like ridiculous o'clock wake ups, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Sweet dreams.